Do people become gay out of influence? Why are homosexual people so insistent on marriage? Do homosexuals fall in love too, or is it all about sex? In the new episode of Can't Ask, we are with Ekin Keyser, the first gay man to get married in Turkey. Welcome, Ekin.
Thank you.
Can you briefly tell us about yourself?
My name is Ekin. My last name is Keyser. I'm from Antakya. I'm an art teacher, an artist. That's it.
Marriage is between a man and a woman. Why are homosexual people so insistent on marriage?
Okay, let's put it this way. Why are they so insistent? Well, we insist on marriage so that one day we can see that we have equal rights. It's for marriage equality. The answer is that simple.
Why do homosexuals place so much emphasis on sexuality?
Yes, we are very colorful people. There are also colorless people and people with all kinds of colors and so on and so forth, but not everyone lives in the foreground. There is no such thing. On the contrary, it is thought to be that way, or there are certain preconceived notions on this issue. But no, there are a lot of gay people who are closeted. There are a lot of gay people who are out of the closet. But there are also people who have other gender identities and sexual orientations who put emphasis on their sexuality and enjoy doing so. There are all kinds of people who do this. We cannot attribute this exclusively to homosexual people.
Do you hate women? Do you have something against them?
No, of course there is no such thing. I don't hate anyone. I try not to. Because isn't hate, in fact, one of the emotions that harm us the most? That's what I think. That's a weird, good question, actually. I don't have anything against the female body right now. I emphasize, right now I don't feel anything toward the female body. I can't get aroused.
You said you don't like women right now. What could happen in the future?
Well, I don't define myself right now either, but I am usually into men. I can say that I like people who have a male body, or I like people who look like men. This may change in the future. It is constantly evolving. I notice these in myself. I watch them, I follow them. That's why I used this word. I might be attracted to a woman's body in the future. I mean, it's possible. It's a very natural thing.
Will you go shopping with me?
Really? Really?
Yes, I really mean it.
Yeah, that's one of the cliches. I truly hate shopping. I really do. It's very clear. Not every gay man likes shopping. Not every gay man has good taste in fashion. But I don't like it. I can't come with you. I choose what I like. I see it. I try it on. If it fits, I buy it. If it doesn't, I walk out.
Do you want to be a woman?
Good question. Let's put it this way. Do I want to be a woman? I can be a woman. It's not a problem. Having a female body or having a male body doesn't really matter that much to me. What I experience inside is more important.
Are you top or bottom?
Okay, that's a good question too. I am both. I like to be both. Some periods I like to be more bottom, some periods I like to be more top. It changes from time to time. Of course, it varies from person to person. There are people who are only bottoms and only tops, but I am versatile.
Are you aware of the risk of infection in your relationships?
Of course, I am aware. I also know that I need to use protection. There is already a perception that HIV or other sexually transmitted diseases are only prevalent in homosexual people. LGBTI plus individuals, to be more precise. On the contrary, heterosexuals are the most unprotected people right now. because there is a certain misconception that you won't get pregnant unless ejaculation occurs inside. They do not use protection because of this perception. So what can be said? I think it's pretty clear.
When did you realize you were gay?
When did you... I don't know your sexual orientation or identity, by the way. When did you realize you were attracted to the sex you were attracted to? Approximately?
In elementary school, I guess?
That's a long time ago.
I discovered my sexuality late.
I realized it when I was 5 or 6 years old. At that time, I had childhood crushes. There were some magazines. I had different interests in other people, other men. I saw them more in magazines, and the men I saw in magazines really caught my attention at the time. I mean, by the way, we are talking about a boy who is 5 or 6 years old, so... But, there were the ones I liked from the magazines at that time. If I can say brand names, I would look at Elsie Waikiki's magazine. I would always look at this boy I liked. I remember that.
Are you like this because your father didn't take care of you?
On the contrary, he was taking too much care of me. There is no such thing. Both my mother and father raised their children with equal amount of care. We are 3 siblings. I am the eldest, their older brother. I don't like this gesture either. I'm their older brother. The answer is no, but from the beginning, my relationship with my father wasn't really positive. It never became positive. Probably his quite heteronormative discourses and his certain behaviors led to this situation.
Were you raped as a child?
No, I was not. This perception... At some point, yes, rape is a whole other issue, but it is wrong to constantly impose this on LGBTI plus individuals or to constantly ask them about it. Yes, there are those who have been victimized, but I don't know how it affects gender orientation and gender identity after such a traumatic event. I am not a professional in that regard. I am not the person to say that. But I haven't experienced it, and most of us don't either.
Can you tell at a glance whether someone is gay or not?
Gay radar.
Gaydar.
Okay. No. I used to have an instinctual ability like that, a perception, actually. I no longer think that way because there are feminine heterosexuals, masculine homosexuals, etc. Many more examples can be given. So let's put it this way. There are men with vaginas and women with penises.
Do homosexuals also fall in love, or is it all about sex?
I will speak only for myself. Of course you fall in love. It's a human feeling. I don't think we were born just to have sex. I don't know. I can't do without falling in love. Of course, I don't prepare myself to fall in love with this or that person, but it just happens. We fall in love the same way heterosexual people fall in love. Why would I get married if I'm not in love? I don't have to get married if I'm in love, but when I was that age, when I was 22, when I was 21, 22, I preferred to get married to the person I was in love with at the time.
So are you still married?
Yes, I am. It's been 8 years.
Well, same-sex marriage is not legal in Turkey. What kind of marriage is this?
This is an alternative marriage. It took place in the Bosphorus. The Bosphorus is within international waters. We could have also done something legal within the borders of Turkey, which we did. It's not legal, but we did it within our borders. That was the important thing. Anyway, for a municipality official to approve this, to approve our love, was something illogical for us. It was something unnecessary. We know ourselves. We made our marriage promise there. We made a speech about it. We ended with a very nice celebration.
How are same-sex couples treated in Turkey?
Let me give an example. This is true for uncloseted people. Especially after our marriage, we were homeless for 2 months. People who knew us didn't rent us a house. Or when we were closeted, we had to lie to people all the time. We would constantly say things like we were roommates or coworkers or cousins. I would say that he was my cousin or something like that. We would lie all the time. We didn't really tell anyone. We don't have to. Why are we coming out? Do heterosexual couples say this? We are a heterosexual couple. Can you rent us a house? Or we're a heterosexual couple. Just know that. Or do heterosexuals come out to their parents? Do they say to their parents, I'm heterosexual? Why do we have to do it? I don't have to come out. Or I can come out if I want to, but what do I care what people think of me? I don't. I don't care right now. Yes, as I said, when I was closeted, we cared and were lying. Now, no, there is no such thing. When they asked me then, I said yes, we were a gay couple. I mean, I was always open. Maybe that's why I was saying that, but those who are closeted must be saying the same thing. There are a lot of them.
What kind of reactions did you get after you got married?
We got really disgusting reactions. 85% of them were great. 15% of them were really disgusting. I thank those 85% again. I send my love to them. There are people who still follow us. There are those who ask us questions and ask for help. This makes me more proud. Each occasion like this makes me proud. But as for the 15%, I was deeply affected at first because we were quite unprepared. Suddenly, we were in the mainstream media, we were on the news channels. Suddenly, we got interview offers from many places. Threats started pouring in, death threats. During that time, we were fired from our jobs, we were kicked out of our house. We had 4 children, 3 cats, 1 dog. These things affected us very badly at first. This process lasted for 2 months, roughly speaking. Death threats and stuff like that. Little by little, I start to forgive them. It takes time, but I forgive them. But there is only one thing I will not forgive. We lost our cat during the time we were homeless. He died. We were staying at my friend's house, and there were other pets in that house. He didn't like crowded places. When he tried to escape, he got stuck in the window and he passed away. So, I don't forgive Turkey or the 15% that I mentioned before for this reason, and I don't think I will ever be able to forgive them.
Is your family ashamed of you?
I have a very proud mother. I have an incredibly wonderful family. My father is probably ashamed. I don't know how he's fighting this shame right now. We don't see each other, my dad and most of his family. But my mom and her family, especially my mom, my youngest sister, Irmak, they are really proud. My aunt, my cousins, they are incredible. Anyway, my mom was always supporting me. She never left. My brother is also the same. I don't know if I would be this strong without them. My experiences have also made me stronger, of course. But my mom, no, I can't say normal things. She is in a very, very different place. She is the most precious to me. If it wasn't for my mom, if it wasn't for my brother, I don't know what would have happened. Nothing would have happened, of course, but I've said a lot of buts. I'm glad they exist. Yes.
Is homosexuality a disease?
It's not. This always seemed ridiculous to me, because no one wants to give up their comfort, be excluded from society, or be marginalized in every aspect of life. Just as heterosexuality evolves, homosexuality evolves the same way. It is not a disease, and there is a lot of evidence for this. There are many associations and organizations that have scientific statements on this. It is not a disease.
Did you become gay because you couldn't be with women?
Are you asking this in an emotional sense? You mean like, are you gay because no one showed any kind of interest in you? Okay. No, I've had a lot of women who liked me. I've been pursued. It happened a lot at school. in places where I socialize? The answer is no. I like men. I like the male body. I'm underlining it right now. I like penises. That's how it is. I underline it again. It may evolve in the future. It's not like this. I'm not saying this so that you don't think I'm 100% homosexual. It may evolve in the future, but right now, it's just because I like men. I mean, don't you know what you like anyway? I mean, it's weird. Okay, breasts and vaginas don't give me an erection. They don't really arouse me. But in certain situations, I'm sorry in advance for the word that I am going to use now. It's like masturbation. If I ever need to provide a momentary relief at a specific moment, and I'm in a very difficult situation, I'm on an island or something like that, I think I'll use my imagination even then. But as I said, something like that can happen. But as I said, I'm open to it. A woman may change my mind in the future.
In gay relationships, which side is the woman and which side is the man?
It's a gay relationship. That is, two same sexes in one relationship. There is no such thing. There are both men and both women. They can both be genderless, but we call it homosexual. Let's just call it male-female right now. There can be two women and two men. We don't have that. There is no such role. I mean, there are those who are in a role. There are things that, unfortunately, heterosexism imposes. There is such a thing as more feminine women in the role of women, more masculine men in the role of men. But the answer to your question is no, especially not in our relationship. As far as I know, not in most relationships either. No. I mean, no.
Have you ever been ashamed to go out in public?
Never. On the contrary, I wanted to go out more. The more pressure I faced, the more I wanted to go out. I was never afraid. I was very blunt. Of course, I am not saying that everyone should be like me and not be afraid. Maybe I was willing to face the consequences, but not everyone has to. I've never been ashamed. I will never be ashamed of myself, especially about this. Because this is me. It's a very important thing. I don't care what people say, what people do, or what people say to me. If I get caught up in that, I can't move forward in any field in any way. No, that's who I am. I'm Ekin, and sexually speaking, I'm just generally attracted to men, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
Do people become gay out of influence?
My father has this perception. There are a few gays in the family. My father thinks they influence me because I spend time with them. On the contrary, it was never like that. When I realized I was gay, I tried to spend more time with them because I felt more comfortable when I was around them. There is definitely no such thing as an influence. Even if there is, it's about that specific person. As I said before, I don't have sexual desire for women or the female body. It actually comes down to this. I mean, how far will a relationship go with a woman, You cannot be influenced. That's funny. That's really funny. It's also a funny notion that homosexuality is seen as a disease. The rumor that HIV is only prevalent in homosexuals is also funny. These are funny now. They should stop saying these. God, I really wish they'd stop thinking like that. Very funny. We are so far behind. Who cares what I do in bed? Who cares? Go do something else. Read a book, improve yourself, advance in other fields. What's it to you who I'm with or how I have sex? What's it to you?
Isn't being open about your homosexuality a bad example for young people and children?
On the contrary, I think it's very good. Because there is a concept called peer bullying. It is mostly experienced at a young age. Children with different gender identities and sexual orientations experience this a lot. Me being uncloseted can give them a little more courage, and I think this is very important. They can express themselves more easily. I think it is good for them to be more comfortable. I can give an example like this. Let's say a class meeting. An activity will be held in the classroom, and the teacher will divide the children into male and female, and the child may or may not be aware of this, but let's say he is aware of something. He is aware that he is different from other kids in some way. He starts to notice the difference at that age. Boys go somewhere, girls go somewhere, and at a young age they usually use the word girl when they say girls go left, for instance, maybe. Among the boys, maybe there is a boy who has a trans identity, a trans woman identity, and he doesn't see himself as a man. That's psychological violence, that's trauma, etc., etc. It starts from that period. That's what I was like. I am a teacher. I also do art activities, and I'm in contact with children all the time. I've never seen a child who was influenced by me. I have never encountered or heard of such a thing. On the contrary, I have spent a lot of effort to raise children in an equal environment, and I am still doing so. Let me finish by saying that I think it is much better for people to be open about their sexuality. It is much better for themselves and other people too. It took too long to answer this.
Is there anything you want to add?
Maybe this. I have dreams and hopes now, and I'm taking steps in that direction. Regardless of people's gender identities, sexual orientations, I want a violence-free living space without people getting too hung up on these issues that we have talked about. I want it for everyone. These are my last words. Thank you.